All right, Internet. When we come back, you'll find out why I'm talking into the spine of a very thick book. And you'll get to hear me swear a lot on another episode of 10 Things I Hate About Your Writing. Hey there. Welcome back to The Writing Life, or 10 Things I Hate About Your Writing. You, over there, your writing. Not you, you're fine. But you have issues. We're going to work on that. But first, I promised that I would tell you why I was talking into the spine of a giant book. But I forgot to introduce myself. In case somehow you have no idea who I am or why you ended up watching this channel, I'm John Hartness. I'm the founder and publisher of Falstaff Books, as well as a cast member of the Authors and Dragons podcast, and I write a few things. I'm a professional author, editor, publisher, I guess YouTube person, sure, whatever. But the spine of the massive book I was talking into, I'm really excited about because it just came in today. This is the limited edition Quincy Harker Demon Hunter Omnibus Volume 1. This collects, look at this amazing cover by Lynn Hanson. It's got a very like heavy metal meets Good Omens kind of feel to it. And that, I love this bit because that is the Bank of America Tower, which is the biggest thing in the Charlotte skyline. And that's the Charlotte skyline up top. And it's kind of got a Sandman Slim vibe, inverted hellscape underneath. This is the limited edition, which is a print run of only 250 copies ever. And each one is signed and numbered. This one is as yet unnumbered because this is the proof. This is mine. This is number 1. Maybe this is really number 0. Because I haven't done, this is number 1. Mine, my precious. But anyway, it's limited to a print run of 250 copies. They'll all be signed and numbered, and when they're gone forever. You can get these by going to falstaffbooks.com, clicking on the Square store up at the top, and you can order your signed copy. They will be shipping at the end of this month, which is January 2020, because, well, I got to order them, and they're big. I mean, good God, this is 1,048 pages. It is the largest book that Ingram Spark will print. They cap out at 1,050 pages, and they add a page to the end. So if you start off at 1,050, they add a page to get to 1,052, and then you can't print the book. So this is the most, and it's legible. It's not super tiny. I didn't make it go down to like 6-point font or anything. This is as much as I can cram into one spine. These are, I believe they're $100 on the website. And like I said, super limited edition, 250 copies. When they're gone, they're gone. And I am keeping track of who gets what numbers so that if and when we do an omnibus part 2 and hopefully part 3, etc., people can request the same numbers. So I stole that idea from like Grim Oak Press, who does the really awesome Magician and Unfettered that I've got on the shelves behind me. But because $100+ is a bunch, it's also available in an unlimited edition, which is also a beautiful friggin' book. And this you can buy this on Amazon, or your local independent bookstore can order it, or you can order this off of the Falstaff Books website. These are $75, which is actually a pretty good deal given that the Harker hardcovers are $30 a piece. So this is actually cheaper than buying Harker 1, 2, and 3 in hardcover on their own. This is what they call a case laminate as opposed to a dust jacketed. And this is another just stunning cover. This one's by Natanya Barron, who has done all of my Quincy Harker covers for all of the collections now, and she also does all my Bubba the Monster Hunter covers, as well as other things. So I'm super excited about these, y'all. I never really thought that I'd be in a place to have a limited edition of my work. So having enough people to buy the Quincy Harker books overall and to lay down money pre-order for this limited edition, well, it means a ton. To me, it's kind of a really groovy thing for a small-time mid-list author like myself to be able to do. You know, this is the kind of shit Brandon Sanderson gets to do with limited editions and stuff. So I'm really excited. I know I have a couple of advantages that some writers don't have, in the sense that, well, I own the press, but it's really cool. So to everybody who has pre-ordered one, thank you. I appreciate it, and you will get your books in very short order now that I've laid eyes on them and said, yes, it does really look awesome. So here we go. Now, on to some of the less awesome stuff. We're going to talk today about some misconceptions people have, and some misconceptions that people put forth about writing as a career, and about what it costs to be a writer. And in that sense, I'm not talking about your soul, which you do sell as part of your first publishing contract. Everybody knows that, right? You sign it over, you prick your thumb, that's part of the signature page. No? Yeah. So by the way, you do that. That's totally a thing. Every publishing contract includes a blood sacrifice. But let's talk about, I've mentioned before, Yogg's Law. Yogg's Law says that money flows to the writer. And for the most part, that's true. There are some corner cases with self-publishing that screw that up, but in that case, you're not being the writer, you're being the publisher. And publishers pay for things. That's what we do. That's why we get a chunk of the royalties. So, something that has come out in the last, 6 or 7 years, I've seen it really come up, and now it feels like it's just a thing. This is part of the business. This is what you do. And that's paying for reviews. I'm not talking about hiring a legion of semi-literate drones on Fiverr to pump up your Amazon ratings with 5-star reviews, because one, that's stupid. Everybody can see what you're doing when you do that. And two, it violates Amazon's terms of service, and if and when they catch you, they will yank your shit off Amazon quicker than you can say, oh shit, I broke Amazon's terms of service and now I don't have a book. And there you'll be sitting with no book and no money and no reviews, and you've already paid that legion of semi-literate drones on Fiverr. But what I'm talking about really are legitimate review sites and legitimate publications who are now charging for book reviews, and they ain't cheap. Yeah, I'm fucking looking at you, Kirkus. Kirkus Reviews is one of the most prestigious, most highly regarded review publications in the publishing industry. Full stop. There's no caveat. There's no qualifying statement. That is what I believe. They also have a side where they provide indie reviews that, for my opinion and for my money, is a fucking ripoff. They charge anywhere from $425 to $725 to publish a review of your indie book, your self-published or your small press book, and that doesn't guarantee you publication any fucking where. Not only that, it's not a fair review. It's not an unbiased, unfiltered, you send in your book, you roll the dice, you take your fucking chances review. It's a, hi, you paid us a shitload of money for this. We want you to pay us a shitload of money for this again when you write another book. So hey, if you don't like the review, we just won't put it up anywhere. Fuck that noise. Fuck a bag of that. I did theater for a long time. That's where the whole expressive thing comes from. I have gotten fucking savaged in reviews. I have been told that I ruined entire plays by walking on the stage. I didn't. It sucked before I got there. It sucked when I left. It was not just my fault. I did, however, contribute to the shit show. I have gotten shredded, and this is by people I like who like me. That's a fair review of a show because that critic hated it. You know what? If you hate my fucking book, go with God. You bought it. You have the right to tell the world that you hate my fucking book. I would prefer that you didn't. But this idea of, oh, well, you're a little indie. You don't really know what's going on. You paid us all this money, so we're not going to bone you by publishing a bad review. You fucking number one, pal. Indies don't get a fucking pass because they paid for something. One, they've already been marginalized and shit upon by you charging $425 fucking dollars for a fucking review. $425 for 250 words. Jesus wept. That's almost $2 a word. Playboy doesn't pay that kind of rate. Nobody pay $2 a fucking word. Jesus Christ. It's offensive is what it is. It's offensive, one, to think that small press and self-published authors and books can't compete with books published by New York, because I tell you one fucking thing. There are books on this shelf behind me from small presses. There are books on this shelf from self-published authors, and there are books on this shelf from mid-sized and from the biggest fucking presses in the world. And you know what? Not a one of them is any better or worse than the others. Everything that's up there is up there because it's a good fucking book. You can't look through Dangerous Ways by R.R. Verdi and Dracul by Dacre Stoker and his co-author, whose name I can't remember, and I'm really sorry, nice person whose name I can't remember. You won't be able to tell a difference in quality between those two books because they're both great fucking books. All right? We're going to leave Name of the Wind out of this because I think it's one of the best books in a really long time. But shit. Bill the Vampire by Rick Galtieri. Iron and Blood by Gail and Larry Martin. One of these published by a major press. One of these published by a bald idiot in New Jersey. I may have given it away. Anyway, both of these are great books. All three of these people are great writers. I would absolutely believe that if you sent these two books in to Kirkus, their normal review setup, they would get equivalent reviews, assuming, of course, that the author that read this one liked steampunk and the author that read this one liked dick jokes. So it's offensive to me that someone thinks that indies can't play on the same playing field as New York published books. It's offensive to me that they think that indies are stupid enough to pay $2 a fucking word for a review. And it's more offensive to me that they fucking get it. Stop letting people take advantage of you. Stop being a dumbass. That's actually just pretty good advice for life. Stop being a dumbass. We all screw up. Every single one of us. I have spent money on things that I never should have spent money on in my publishing career. We all fuck up. But man, oh man, you don't even get in the fucking magazine. The whole point of getting a Kirkus review, it's not to put it in your goddamn Amazon description that, ooh, Kirkus says my book is fabulous. Do you know what Joe Bob, who's browsing Amazon at 2 o'clock in the goddamn morning looking for a new book full of dick jokes, explosions, or vampire porn, knows about Kirkus review? Not a fucking thing. You could send the book to the Dayton Enquirer. I don't have any idea what the newspaper in Dayton is called. The Dayton local newspaper is as valid to Joe Bob as Kirkus is. The reason people want a Kirkus review is because it goes in the magazine, and booksellers and librarians read the magazine and read the reviews and make their purchasing decisions. Sorry, that's my foot. It's not really a sprung floor. Make their purchasing decisions for either bookstores or bookstore chains or library systems based off of these reviews. As an indie, you're not trying to reach those people. That's not where your money is. Your money's with Joe Bob and all of Joe Bob's cousins. So you want to reach Joe Bob. So you write a great description and you get a great cover. I just mentioned 2 great cover artists. You can hire them just like I did. Please don't hire Natanya for the month of January. I have a lot of shit that I need her to do for me. You can have her in February. My point is that a Kirkus review doesn't do an indie a goddamn bit of good. Yeah, you feel better about yourself. If you are someone who is self-publishing as a last resort because you couldn't sell the book to any traditional press, well, one, you're probably not going to be very successful self-publishing it because you're not going into it for the right reasons and with the right mindset. But 2, then a Kirkus review may matter to you because you think that it's got some kind of USDA good housekeeping seal of approval thing. It doesn't. Shit doesn't even go to their regular reviewers. Those reviews aren't even written by the same people who write the reviews that go in the publication. It's a cash grab. Every one of these fucking pay-to-play review sites is a cash grab. There's a bunch of them. Kirkus is the one I'm bitching about because Kirkus is the one that I'm disappointed in for doing it. Their name means something in publishing. It still means something in publishing. But this indie review bullshit, it means we'll fuck you if we get the chance. It's a fucking douche bro with a sweater tied around his neck in an 80s movie. Yeah, that got a little enthusiastic, didn't it? But I didn't talk about RWA. So look, yeah, reviews do cost money. They really do. Because you know what's not free? Envelopes. Not free. You know what else isn't free? Books. Not free. Postage. Not free. Sometimes you're going to have to send out paper copies of books to review. When we were working on getting reviews for A Fall in Autumn, I sent out review copies to 10 or 15 different publications all across the US and Canada. I had them drop shipped from Amazon because it didn't make much sense to me to pay for shipping to North Carolina and then pay to ship it somewhere else. But yeah, cost me the cost of the printed book and on average $4 a piece to mail the book. So yeah, that costs money. Didn't cost me $2 a fucking word. You will have to invest in your career, but do it smart. You want to spend $400 in a really good way? Fuck, buy 2 tickets to Saga, the professional development conference for genre fiction writers that we're throwing in Charlotte in March. You can learn about the business side of writing from AJ Hartley and Chris Kennedy and David Coe. You can learn about the craft side of writing from Richard Kadrey, from Faith Hunter, from Quincy Allen. You can learn from Darren Kennedy. You can learn from Gail Martin. You can learn from people who are doing it. $200 bucks for a ticket and $50 to add on Deb Dixon's incredible goal motivation and conflict. Sorry, it's late, y'all, and I got a lot of wings in my belly, so I'm like, I'm trying to decide if I'm sleepy or gassy. Why not both? But nah, $400 will get you a ticket, add on for the workshop, and it'll cover your bar tab for the weekend. You can even buy me a drink. Trust me, I'll take it. Especially once we get this conference launched, I'll sure as hell take a drink. My point is that take a look at what people are asking you to spend money on. Understand where your cash is going, and really understand where your market is. As a small press or indie author, your market isn't booksellers. It's just not. You don't have national bookstore distribution. I'll go into the consignment model and how the bookstore business is absolutely fucking broken later. But understand that if you're not with a major press that has major bookstore distribution, you only care a little bit about bookstores and libraries. Your bookstore sales are going to come from the work you do connecting to human beings and getting them to order your book from a bookstore. The vast majority of you folks out there cannot walk into a bookstore in your hometown and find any book with my name on the spine on the shelf. Regardless of the fact that I've written over 24 books and sold hundreds of thousands of copies, they're not in your local bookstore. You can order them, absolutely. If you're in Charlotte, then they are, because they're at Park Road Books, because I'm friends with the folks that own and run the place. We have a deal. But if you're in Dubuque, you'll have to order it. I suggest you order signed copies off the Falstaff Books website, but you do you. And if you want to support your local indie bookstore, do that too. If you want to buy it on Amazon, do that too. Fuck it, just buy them. My point is that what I'm doing right now, reaching you, one person sitting there looking at your computer and being a little uncomfortable about my finger doing all of that. That's what indie authors need to do. You need to connect with individuals one at a time. If it's on YouTube, great. If it's on Twitter, great. If it's on Facebook, Instagram, your newsletter, your blog, I don't care if you skywrite, whatever. Find the way that you connect to readers so that you don't have to do bullshit like pay somebody $500 to review your book. You want somebody to review your book for $500? Call my ass. Email me. I'll tell you it's the best thing since Wonder Bread. I don't eat Wonder Bread. No, wait, I do, because the last couple of times I've ordered groceries on Amazon Prime Now, and I think they deliver Wonder Bread. I don't know. My wife makes a sandwich. I eat it. It's the division of labor that keeps the kitchen safe from my ineptitude. My point being, you have to understand your career and take a look at every step of your career and whether something that works for this guy will work for you. Sending review copies to magazines 90 days before a book comes out in hopes that a bookseller in Dubuque will buy 5 copies of Inflection Point, the new Quincy Harker novel, available right now wherever books are sold, isn't how I'm going to make my living. I'm going to make my living connecting to individual readers. So, I have sworn a lot. I have offended everyone involved associated with Kirkus, guaranteeing that I have shit on any hope of ever getting a positive review in that publication. And I have quickly and succinctly referenced the shit show that is RWA. I think I'll call that a night. Get out there, go to the Falstaff Books website, buy these omnibuses. Omniboy. That's the plural of omnibus. It is now, anyway, until somebody corrects me in the comments. Order Inflection Point, the new Quincy Harker book. Sign up for the Falstaff Books newsletter, because we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 titles planned for 2020, which is about double what a normal publisher produces in a year. So check back with me in 11 and a half months, see if there's a single brown hair anywhere on any of this. So yeah, go do those things. And in addition to all that, be good to one another, okay?